All right, so this one, what we're doing here is really different for me, but whatever. So I am restoring this 8-inch Grizzly jointer, and it did not come with a cutter guard or cutter head cover. So what I'm doing is I am making one from scratch. This one is made out of wood, but it'll serve the same process. So let's get into that. Hey, if you find yourself enjoying this kind of content and want to see more, why don't you mash down on that subscribe button? That helps us immeasurably. And then maybe punch the like button and give us a thumbs up and maybe comment and stuff. That helps us bring you more content like this. And now, due in part to the overly litigious society in which we reside, listen to my robot.
Danger, Will Robinson! Danger! No, Will Robinson! Danger!
Alright, so here's the file that I've come up with for the blade guard on the Grizzly 8-inch joiner. And you have to understand that you are looking at this from the bottom, okay? That's why it might seem kind of mirror image to you. You know, you're looking at it from the bottom. All right, so, you know, here's where it is. Note where our 0 is down here. And I did that just for ease of use. I'll show you something else here. If you look at this thing, it is about 12 by 11. Okay, it's about 12 this way and about 11 this way. A little over 12, 3/10. Okay, so that's the size of piece we're going to need. And I know that I have a piece of 1-inch plywood. You're saying, wait a minute, 1-inch plywood? Yeah, I don't know where I got it from, but it's two half-inch pieces that are glued together. That's plenty big for this piece. So that's what I'm going to use. Okay, it's about 1 inch thick. Okay, so I could use hardwood, and I have used hardwood on some 6-inch deltas and stuff, but plywood's just a little more dimensionally stable. So I kind of wanted to do that. All right, so let's look at this thing. You know, let's look at the outer profile first. Here we go. All right, and so outer profile. And we're cutting it 1 inch, right, because that's how thick my material is. We're just going to go around the outside here. Some of you may be wondering what this little thing is right here. I am going to put like an eye screw pointing down in here to connect an extension spring to hold the guard closed. Originally it came with a kind of a weird torsion spring, but since this isn't metal and I don't have the stops in there or anything like that, I decided just to use like a vintage Delta one does, and that is an extension spring. I'll have to drill a hole in the rabbit guide or whatever to put a little cotter pin in there, but that'll be it. All right, anyhow, 1 inch deep, we're going around. I'm going to add some tabs here just so I can hold this thing. Those tabs look good. I'll edit them. I'll add the tabs. I'll see where it puts them. Okay, so I'll put them there and there. That's fine. I probably want another one here. Yeah, let's put one there. Okay. All right, so that should hold it fine. I can hold it up here and I can hold it right here. So that's where I'll hold this thing. Okay. So that is our outer profile. Okay. I always do that last because I want this thing as supported as I can, you know, until I cut that outer profile. So I'm just going to move that last. Okay, now the hole. There's that hole, and we want to check the size of that. The hole in the support in the casting is 5/8 of an inch. So let's see how big this hole is. It's 5/8 of an inch. Perfect. Okay. And my plan is to epoxy a piece of threaded rod in there that sticks out, that will go through the hole in the casting and then I'll put a little nut on the other end. I won't do it tight because it's got to rotate, but that's how I'll end up doing that. So this hole, I don't want it to go all the way through. Remember, we're looking at this from the bottom. I could have it go all the way through. That's not that big a deal. Okay, but I'm going to go 0.8. Why 0.8? I don't know, because it leaves me 200 thousandths where it doesn't poke through, and I just think it'll look better. Okay, that's still plenty of room for epoxy and everything in there, so I think I should be okay. All right, so this is the hole. There we go. And lastly, the pocket. What is the pocket? Okay, well, the pocket is right here. And basically what I want to do is I want to cut that about a 1/2 inch deep so that it rests on this part on the table and it comes up a 1/2 inch clearance for the cutter head. And you're going, wow, a 1/2 inch, that seems like an awful lot. And you know what? You're right. It probably is an awful lot. Matter of fact, I should probably, let's change that to just a 0.4 just to be safe, okay? And that's still a lot. I mean, how much, normally you're not taking over 1/8 of an inch. Yeah, you know, I want a little clearance there. It's still safe. You can't get your finger in there, whatever. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to calculate that. All right, so now I'm going to reset the preview, and I'm going to preview all. Okay, so that's what it looks like. I got these tabs in here now, so I can't take away the outer material, but you get an idea. And if we look here, there, see, you got, that's 0.4 inches, so this thing is unsupported out here, but it clears the cutter head. All right, so I also know that the hole in the casting that this part goes into it's down about a 1/2 inch. So what I'm going to have to do is stack some washers on this. That'll become clear maybe when I put it on the machine. But that hole is long. I got to stack them up. I got to stack up some washers. So that it's not resting on this, so it'll be resting on the washers. But I think this is a pretty good design. I think it's going to work. I have done some for like deltas before that are similar to this. So that's what makes me think it will work. I'm concerned about clearances here. I'm just guessing on a lot of that stuff. But once we get her on the table, we'll be able to see what it looks like. So with that said, I'm going to save the toolpath and then we'll go cut it. Okay, so there you can see I have the program loaded up in my computer. All right. And here I have the piece of wood that's just clamped down about where I want it, right? So what we need to do is we need to tell the machine where 0 is. And as you recall, when we programmed this, we put 0 right down here, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy, I have marked out approximately where the size of piece is just in pencil. And I'm going to put this guy right at the corner, and I'm going to put him barely touching the top of the piece right there. And I'm going to tell my computer that's where 0 is. Okay, so I just hit the 0 button on my computer, and it zeroed out all 3 axes. It goes X is at 0, Y is at 0, and Z is at 0. So now the machine knows where the piece of wood is sitting in it. It knows what it needs to cut. Let's cut it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my spindle. My spindle goes about 18,500 RPM. And I'm going to hit the go button. Run. Alright. And it says, okay, I'm ready. And so what we'll do is I'll hit the go button and it should go across and start cutting it. Normally I would have a dust boot on here and my dust extraction on, but I want to let you
see it cut. Also, this cycle time is give or take 9 minutes. So here we go. All right, so there it is. Let's turn off the spindle. Kind of get the spindle out of the way. Let's unclamp this guy. There we go. Nice clean cut. Let's go remove the tabs and get it out of the board here. All right, so we sawed off the tabs on the bandsaw, and now we'll go remove those tabs on the sander. Right, this here is the Monster, my big sander, and what I'll do is I'll just remove those tabs and maybe put a little chamfer on various surfaces here. Here we go. She looks pretty good. I'm gonna need to fill this before I paint it, and what I'll do also is kind of round over these edges on the router table. All right, before I put all that additional work in, let's make sure this thing fits. So here's that hole I was telling you about, and here is a 5/8 inch rod, and we'll put that rod in that hole right there. Okay. So this is how it's going to work. There's that clearance we have so the cutter head doesn't hit this. And even if I open it all the way, the cutter head misses. So that looks like it's working good. That looks about where it should be. Okay. As I look at this, maybe I'll cut this through and put a nut on top of here just for, you know, some extra security, so I have a mechanical thing on here, mechanical connection instead of just a chemical connection with the epoxy. I think I'm going to do that. And then let me bring you in here. If you look right here, I got this knob that's sticking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a small eye screw down right here, and then I'm going to put a spring in here. There'll be drill a little hole in this casting here, put a cotter pin through with the little loop on the end here, just like a delta really. And then when I open this, it'll stretch that spring and it'll want to close it back up. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. Okay, so I have this filled here, and we'll hit her with a couple coats of primer, and then we'll hit her with a couple of coats of color. I'm thinking safety red, because, you know, safety first, safety always. I wish I had some high fill primer to kind of fill in that grain a little bit, but I don't, so it is what it is. Let's give this a chance to dry, and then we'll hit her with the color. All right, so paint's dry on my cover guard, and you can see I have the bolt just set through in there, it's just sitting in there, right? And then I'm going to put it right here, and I'm going to put it through these two washers. I went to the store, got the washers. All right, so all this should fit right down. There we go. Okay, and then I have this other nut I'm going to put on the other side, and I'm going to put some blue Loctite on this one. You might recall I put red Loctite on that one. I'll put some blue Loctite on this one, just so it doesn't, you know, these things vibrate a lot when you use them, so just so it doesn't back out. Alright, now just put him on finger tight, right? I don't want him to bind when he's moving, see he moves easily, but he doesn't come up and down. Tighten him just a little bit more, there we go. Very nice. That has a very smooth move. Now I'll bring you in here and kind of show you what I'm doing down here. All right, so down here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this itty bitty tiny little eye screw, you can see it there, and I'm gonna screw him in right here from the bottom up. And then I'm gonna take this cotter pin and I'm gonna drill a hole right through here so he'll stick out right there. Then I'm gonna put a extension spring between the two, right? So there'll be here and here, and there'll be a spring that goes between them so that when I open this, it'll lengthen the spring and it'll want to close it, okay? It'll spring shut every time for safety. That's basically how early Deltas do them. I'm waiting on the spring from Amazon, so it'll be a day or two and I'll probably finish the video by then. But okay, so here you can see that I have that eye screw in there and the spring is on there, and here you can see I have the cotter pin there. And I'm just going to drill a hole right here to put that cotter pin through. There we go. So we'll insert this cotter pin into this hole here, and then we'll bend that leg. Okay, I'm reaching behind there now to bend that leg. Hold her in there. There we go. All right, let's see how that handiwork works. Very springy. You can see down here, it stretches the spring and the spring keeps her closed. So when you push a piece through, it'll close afterwards. Works good.